Alright, what's going on everyone out there on YouTube? NES Ruler, and welcome to a brand new review. And this time around, we'll be checking out a film that was sent to me review by Scorpion Releasings, and you can pick this up right now on Blu-ray at all your favorite online retailers. It is a film from the year 1992 titled Cold Heaven. So this film's directed by Nicolas Roeg, who is, a really prolific filmmaker. He's made some really interesting films, of course, The Man Who Fell to Earth, and what else has he made? Walkabout he's made, which is a really great film that Criterion has put out for years. So he's a really prolific and interesting filmmaker. So when I saw this movie pop up, I was like, that sounds really interesting. I kind of want to check this out because I've been a fan of his for a little while. I've watched some of his stuff when I was in film school, and, he was interesting enough, but then I really started to watch some other things that he's done when I left, and I was like, this sounds interesting. So this is kind of like a romantic, psychological ghost story, if you want to say. Is it so much in a horror film? No. I feel like they are trying to market this as a horror film, but it's not really a horror film. It's more like a relationship, faith, ghost story, if you want to say. So it has some horror elements in it, but I don't really feel like it's a total horror film. So we follow Teresa Russell's character, and she is a atheist, if you want to say, and she is having an affair with another doctor that her husband, played by Mark Hamill, he's also a doctor, and she's having an affair with another doctor that is in Mark Hamill's practice. And Teresa Russell is going to tell Mark about the affair one day on their trip out to a conference in the Bay. And when they're out on this trip, Mark Hamill decides to take a swim in the ocean, and he gets hit by a boat and is ultimately presumed and said to be dead. But then the next day, his body's missing. And Teresa gets a note to meet the person she was having the affair with at this hotel. And she goes there, and there's Mark Hamill's character in the bed, somehow alive, even though that he was pronounced dead. The autopsy report said he was dead. But somehow he's now in this hotel room, and Teresa's trying to come to terms with her past relationship with him and the affair, and how is this the case, and all these other things. And he's not a ghost. Everybody else could see him, so obviously he survived this boating accident somehow. And then it turns into like a faith story, Teresa coming to terms with, God and Mother Teresa and all this other BS that was just like, It gets kind of boring, to be completely honest with you, as the film progresses. Near the end of the film, it's just like, I don't know, I just didn't feel that much interest in the story nor the characters. I mean, it's just like a boring, long-driven film. And it's not even that long. It's only, 103 minutes. Sure, it's well made. It has some really good performances. But overall, I just feel like the film is just, it wasn't for me. And which is unfortunate because, like I said, Roeg is a really interesting filmmaker. I just feel like this one didn't hit any of the cylinders for me. I ultimately found it kind of stale, so it's unfortunate. I appreciate the opportunity to watch it. I just feel like there wasn't too much there, and it's just like a pretty bare bones release here from Scorpion. You just get the trailer on here and nothing else, no other features or anything like that. This was released by MGM, so I don't know if any of the previous releases have any features or anything like that, or is this is all they get. The transfer is decent, nothing amazing, but you can tell it's an older master. But it does the trick. Soundtrack is fine. And that's basically it. You have nothing much else with this release besides just the trailer and the disc art, which is the same as the cover art. So yeah, Cold Heaven. A little bit disappointing. Like I said, I appreciate the fact that I was able to watch it and review for you guys, but it was a little bit disappointing. It didn't really do too much for me. But it may do some other things for somebody else. But that is my review of Cold Heaven. If you guys like this review, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NESRuler22. Hope everybody's doing well, and I shall talk to you guys soon. See you guys.